Yo, anyone want me to redraw their, what are they called? Icons? Guess I better get started. Alright, so about 37 seconds ago, yeah, exactly, look at that. I put out a post asking if there's anyone interested in having me redraw their icons. And I think, oh, we've got a few already. I'm going to see whoever commented first. I feel like people who comment first just get a bad rap, and, you know, today I'd like to reward them. Alright, let's see who we've got. Oh, Sunflower Fox. Hey, they didn't write first. No content. Yo, where's the videos? I'll take that, and waiting for your first video, okay? So I just gotta drag this into Photoshop. Now I just have to draw it. I'm still not entirely sure how many I'm going to do, so I'm gonna try and keep these simple so that I can hopefully like do a lot of them. I don't know. He needs ears. I'm also obviously going to be drawing them in my own style, but I just want to try and capture the essence of the icon. Obviously, the issue we're gonna have here is that the icon is very small and I can't see a whole lot of details. It's a little bit of a pixely mess. So it's kind of up to me to kind of decide what I'm looking at. It also looks like there might be a fish, but I'm really not sure about that. I'm gonna leave that out. It's also important to flip the canvas. Look how different the picture looks now that I've flipped it, and I can see some of the mistakes that I had. And then I can start adding in the next sketch layer. I'm gonna try and make her look down a little bit more because I feel like in the reference icon, the reference pixels, it looks like the character may be looking down a little bit. I'm just gonna draw some legs in here real quick. Yeah. Now drawing legs in just really helps me figure out which way the torso should look. Oh, and look at that. I'm zooming in so you can't even see the legs anyway. But they were helpful. I don't regret anything. I think her eyes are closed. I'm not entirely sure. Again, my reference is just a bunch of pixels, so I gotta guess. So now on this third sketch layer, this is kind of going to be my line art layer if it looks good. We'll see. So I'm gonna be a little bit cleaner with it, and I have to make sure that the shapes actually look the way I want. I can't just like hint at it at this point. Is this what a fox ear looks like? Like, should consult an expert. Nah. Here on a whole new layer underneath the line art layer, I'm just gonna grab the colors directly from my reference pixels and I'm just going to start plopping them in. How do you like this? These are some bright colors. A little blush color and stick it under a nosy. I just love adding a little bit of blush. Okay, fine, a lot of blush. I just think it looks so cute. For the background, again, I'm not entirely sure, but it looks like it's like a square waffly grid texture. So I'm just gonna draw that in myself. I'm holding shift and drawing a straight line. If you didn't know, in Photoshop, if you hold shift, you can't go out of a straight line. It's like using a ruler. It's really, really handy, actually. I'm just gonna add the slightest bit of shading. I don't know, I'm not gonna go too detailed with this. I think I'm just about done. Just play around with the color balance a little bit. I don't even know if you can tell that anything's happening, but I'm just playing with some sliders and the colors are changing ever so slightly. This kind of helps it become a more cohesive color scheme. And since these colors are so loud, it's not really making that big of a difference, but I hope it looks better than it did before. I didn't save this. I did a bad. There we go. That's better. Anyway, here's the finished one for Sunflower Fox. Now let's hurry up and do another one. Let's see how many I can do before I get burnt out. How do you pick? Oh look, they did write first. Let's go with Loic Pop. They look like a nice person and they actually use their photo in the icon, and that's kind of what I feel like drawing right now. I don't have to give a reason, do I? Well, I did. Oh, they have a video.
Hello everyone. Hi.
I need this. Slide this into Photoshop. Let's see if we can do them some justice. Not holding my breath. Oh, I love the way the hair just swooshes. I hardly ever draw eyeballs right off the bat. I either do slashes or dots, usually little lines of some kind. So these dots are kind of like staring into my soul. So let me just do something about that real quick. Better. It's an improvement. It's weird because I like when art styles use little dots for eyes, but for some reason when I do it, it doesn't tickle my fancy. That is such a weird saying. Ugh, don't think about it too much. Now they do look like they have a smaller mouth and nose, so I'm just gonna shrink this. I'm not worrying too much about like making it look exactly like this person and capturing like their perfect resemblance, but I guess I could try a little harder. Just like last time, I flipped the canvas. I already fixed a few mistakes with balance issues. And now I'm going in and adding in liner. I think I'm ready. As always, I start with the eyeballs. I don't know why. This isn't a tutorial. What do you want from me? All right, line art's done. And I'm gonna try adding in colors, but I'm just gonna color pick them myself. The top is like a dark green. Not too bad so far. I am such a poor judge of hair color. Like my own hair color, I cannot. Every time I paint it, at least digitally, I use a completely different color. When I do it traditionally, I usually use the same marker over and over again, but like, I don't understand hair. It's like so many different colors and so many different lightings, and it's just like what even is blonde? Like, this character's not blonde, but like, what is blonde? Like, is it yellow? Is it gold? Is it white? Like, obviously there's multiple shades, but like if you had to pick the color, what color is it? I don't even... I'm gonna use like a really light, a little more saturated version of this hair color, and I'm going to add a gradient. Ooh, that looks nice. Ooh, pretty. Look at that. It started with blush, and now I'm like trying to render the face. I've got a background color. I just added a little... Oh, so I just flipped the canvas. Do you see how the balance... There's a few balance issues, like that left eyebrow and that left eyeball. I always have issues with like the further eye, but you know why digital art is my favorite form of art? Because I can just grab it and move it. Obviously I have to clean it up a bit, but traditional art. When does the new software come out for traditional art where I can do this? The character still feels a little stiff, so I think I'm gonna add like some hair strands. I'm just gonna grab a brush, grab a few colors, and just kind of like swoop them. Ooh, that color works. Adjust the color balance just a little bit. I'm spending way too much time on these. I need to move on to the next one. Well, now I know what I'm drawing next. Now I don't draw a lot of doggos, except my own doggo, but I'm gonna try to do this pupper some justice. You can always start with the head. Smiling. From the reference, I can't really tell where the back legs are, but I feel like illustration isn't real life, and if I want it to look like a dog sitting, I'm gonna have to pull the legs forward a little bit. Obviously, that's not how this doggo sits. It kind of looks like this dog's doing that thing where it wipes its butt on the ground, so I'm just gonna pull these legs a little forward. Hopefully that'll help balance doggo on the ground a little better. Make it furry! Just adding jaggedy lines, I think it's helping make the dog look a little fluffier and not look like it's made out of Play-Doh. Adding in some color. Right now I'm using like a pink color because obviously the dog's white, but I want to be able to see where I'm drawing. And then I can just use the hue saturation tool to make it white. Perfect. I'm just putting in the laziest background ever, don't mind me. I think some shading would really help because right now it's just so simple. It just needs a little extra something. I'm gonna do something a little different and a little out of my comfort zone, and I'm gonna use like a saturated blue to shade the dark fur. Ooh, I like it, I like it. Kind of pulling away from the reference, but like in a fun way. Gotta add that gray hair. Got a big swooping shadow. I don't know if that's a window, but I'm making it a window. And maybe I'll tone it down a little bit. Add just a little bit more fur texture. And there we have it. I need to draw dogs more often. It's fun. All right, let's see what's next. Denise. Denise entered, but they have no icon. Oh, actually, that sounds fun. And it's purple. Purple person. Yeah, I could do that. So just start with the circle and like a head on. I kind of want the character to look awkward, like, because they're so stiff and like, I don't know. When you look at like the little icon, it's kind of like emotionless. So it's gonna, I don't know. I want to give it something extra. A stripy shirt seems in order. I don't know why I like associate stripy shirts with like the most basic t-shirt you can get, because it really isn't. I couldn't decide what to do for hair, but I finally settled on like a short bob because, oh, just flip the canvas. Do you see why this is important? Anyway, I decided on the short hair because I don't want to lean like too much towards a girl, too much towards boys. So I'm trying to like scoot right down the middle so that maybe anyone who wants to use this as their icon can. So I think I'll have... That's probably a good idea. I'll link like to a Google Photos folder of like all the icons that I make in case you want to use one for your own icon, or if Denise in particular wants to use it, and anyone else that I do today. This is what it looks like so far. Just a purple person. I'm using the colors from the reference pixels, and it's kind of cute. Ooh, but using that same color for the background doesn't really work, does it? Because I used that for line art. Guess I'm gonna have to darken that up. Maybe add a little shadow behind them. I'm not gonna let this is monotone stop me from adding blush. If you thought that, you were mistaken. And one little asymmetrical earring as a last touch. Here's the finished one for Denise. I hope you like it. Let's move on to the next one. All right, let's find another one. Let's refresh the comments. So Georgia and 128 other people seem to have a challenge for me. Yes, I just assumed Georgia liked their own comment. Everybody does it. Anyway, they want me to recreate their icon as a human. I feel like big eyes and like hair that like flips out would work really well. I'm gonna try giving it ponytails for ears. There's an option. I'm trying to draw them so they're like looking straight up, so there's like a bunch of perspective going on here. Obviously I'm kind of faking it because it's just an icon. You're just supposed to be kind of quick, but I think it's good enough, you know. Just add some line art, and I also added in some hands. I don't know what I said last. But yeah, I think I'm capturing the essence of our little fox there. Now I just need to add in those like fairy lights. So I'm going to use a layer style stroke. You can see it down in the bottom right there. It's been applied to this layer. So now when I draw in white, it's going to add a stroke around everything I draw, which makes it look like I just drew two perfect lines next to each other. But in reality, I didn't. I drew one. I'm just color picking colors from our little pixel reference up in the top right there, kind of blotching them in, copying the background from what I can see. I've actually used the fox color to color in the entire character, and I feel like this works really well. It looks like this character, she's in the night. I'm actually really happy with that. I never would have done that myself. I feel like I'm learning something. The eyes are not popping as much as I want, so I think I'm going to color in the line art black. And then now, oh yeah, see how they're like piercing. Finished up adding some detail just up and around the character. Now I gotta add in those fairy lights. I've got a new layer with color dodge applied, and I'm just coloring in little circles to kind of make it look like it's lighting up. I don't know how the artist did this, but it looks kind of cool. I'm also adding some like rim lights to like edges. I don't know if that makes any sense. And then I'm going to grab a brighter white color and draw on top of everything. And this will just be much more piercing. I'm going to steal it straight from the picture there. I'm just going to color straight on top. Does it look like it's glowing? I don't think I'm doing very well. Ugh. It looks alright from far away, and I mean, as an icon, that's how it's going to be viewed, so I think I'm ready to call this one quits. Look, she's a little foxy now. Yeah, lighting is not my specialty, but this was a lot of fun. It kind of looks like she's standing in fire because of like the particles behind her. Anyway, I need to move on. I'm spending too much time on this. Let's get to the next one. If only I posted 3 hours earlier. I think you mean, thank goodness I posted right now. Let's do this. I don't know, how do you say that? Muddy? I'm gonna call it muddy. I'm really excited about this one. What's up with that? I want to draw like the pouty face. These lips like this. Ooh, I really like Muddy's hair. Ooh, would it be kind of cute if Muddy was like taking a selfie? It probably is a selfie, but I'm going to include the arms. I started on the second layer, but it's not where I want it to be. Flip the canvas again, and maybe I can fix this with the liner. Those are famous last words. Oof. I really like drawing ears, so I'm just gonna stick one in here. I know there isn't one in the reference, but it's not gonna stop me. And I think it's cute. Look at it just poking onto the hair like that. Alright, let's try not to mess up the lips this time. It's kind of nice having the reference up there in the top right, and I kind of can just glance like really quickly while I'm drawing these in. I'm kind of trying to only pick the lines that are necessary. Obviously, if I tried to draw every little thing in as a line, it's going to look kind of aged and decrepit. That's just what happens. I don't know if you've ever tried to like trace yourself. You've put a photo into Photoshop and you're just like tracing all the lines you thought were important, and then you turn off the photo layer and you're like, ooh, I'm ugly. It's illustration. You gotta be choosy. You gotta simplify things to make them cute. That's just how it goes. I love this. Oh my gosh. This is my favorite one so far. Glasses are hard to draw. Ooh, that's not too bad. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with this one. If I try again, it'll be worse. I'm just gonna quickly add in the colors. I'm just color picking from the image again, doing the same thing. Look at me, I'm adding in clouds. I'm having a lot of fun with this one, guys. This one's like right up my alley. It's like what I always draw. Well, not the clouds, but like the character. So that's like encouraging me to be more outgoing with the background. Gotta add in some blush. I'm gonna go a little crazy and add maybe some rim lighting because Muddy does look like they're outside, so I think it would be a great opportunity for that. Just kind of highlight the side and the back. Not sure how I feel about it yet. I'm not head over heels for the rim lighting, but I've never done it before, so I kind of want to keep it that way. So yeah, here's my finished drawing. This has got to be one of my favorites.
Me, please draw my icon. I love you and your art and art style, and eager to see how it looks like in your style.
Sure, why not? Back at the whiteboard. I want to like keep that whole pink space in the top right, and the way the character is kind of slightly off center. I think that is just so cute. So I'm gonna try and maintain that as I recreate this drawing. I gotta include that heart. That seems like a very important element, and it's so cute. All right, here's my sketch. We're gonna flip the, will there be a day where my art skills improve to the point where flipping the canvas isn't necessary anymore? All right, adding in the line art, and I'm getting Dora the Explorer vibes. I don't know what it is. It's like the face proportions, which is weird because Dora is also a cartoon character and a completely different art style. So I don't know where that's coming from. The Dora is intensifying. I'm just gonna add a little bit of purple to the hair. Maybe that'll help because we're not drawing Dora, we're drawing Sam. Let's add in some blush. Again, I'm picking the skin tone, and then I'm picking a color that is slightly closer to red, more saturated and darker. And that is how I get it to look the way it looks. Again, this is not a tutorial, guys. All right, I seem to have gone from Dora the Explorer to Dora's mom. And I don't know what I did. She just looks so much older now. What did I do? I played around with the colors a little bit, and now I'm just gonna try and tweak a few things. Now that I've merged everything onto one layer, I could kind of just play around with it, and I don't have to worry about finding different layers. I can just do it all in one place. This one, I really love how it's a little off center. I think it's just so cute. I love it, and this would look pretty cute as an icon, I think. All right, next up. This is for Zuko. Is that a floating head? Okay, let's go ahead and drop this in here. It's really dark though. I don't know if I'm gonna keep all those colors because it's kind of hard to see what's going on. From what I can tell, it's a floating head, braids, and glasses. And then like sprinkles in the background. All right, we flipped the canvas, and now I'm kind of moving the eyes inward a little bit because I saw on the reference photo the two eyeballs are pretty close together. So I just moved them in just a smidge. Why does the top of this head look so weird? What did I do wrong? I'm not sure if I draw braids correctly, but I just do swoops that like interlock with each other, like this. Oh, I just noticed in the reference, the nose is like really high too. So I'm just gonna use my lasso tool, grab the nose and the mouth and everything and just move it up and towards the center a little bit more. Adding in some color, trying to keep the colors from the reference, but we'll see if I change those up. Yeah, definitely gonna lighten up the hair just a little bit. You can't see any of like the time I put into making those perfect braids. I mean, come on. Yeah, I'm just gonna use a gradient and just lighten them up slightly brown. Maybe I'll tone that down a little. Yeah, that looks better. Can't forget the glasses. I'm just gonna draw two circly swoopy shapes. Yeah, that's good enough. When I draw glasses, I kind of keep it simple. I just fill in the shape underneath the glasses. So it's on like a separate layer with just solid white. Then I tone down the opacity to, looks like 42%. Then I grab the eraser and I just erase stripes out of it to kind of look like shines. Then I'll play with the opacity again and boom, looks like there's lenses in there. But this isn't a tutorial. Now I gotta add in those sprinkles and confetti to the background. It's almost like the character is floating in like a sprinkle galaxy. I approve. I'm trying to figure out how to make the character stand out from the background a little bit more. I added like a yellow stroke, but I'm not crazy about it. I'm gonna try adding some like refracted, is that reflected? Refracted? I don't know. I'm having light that's bouncing off the sprinkles and then bouncing back on her in the color of the sprinkle. Just kind of adding a little bit more visual interest there. And this head is still not standing out, so I'm gonna add a bright gradient behind her. Oh yeah. See, the face has dark colors and the background had dark colors. So now by making the background a little bit lighter in the center, the face is now standing out a lot more. Just add a little bit of rim lighting and like random hair strands again to like loosen it up like I did with the, was that the second drawing? I feel like it's been forever since I drew that one. And I think it looks kind of cool, like the face is being backlit. I'm actually going to use the color balance tool and just brighten up the colors a little, make the highlights a little bit more yellow, and that really just makes it brighter. Just highlight that edge of the glasses there so they pop a little bit more. They were blending in with the hair because they were both kind of dark colors. Now I feel like even from a distance you can kind of see that shape. All right, now I'm done. Let's move on to the next one. Gabrielle says mine might be a little difficult. Is that a challenge? Again, this one I want to maintain that like slightly off center portrait. So lots of white space in the top right. Hey, that's the same place the other one had it. I'm going to start pretty simple. And then if the character starts looking like Gabrielle, then it does. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Why does everybody have glasses? Those are so hard to draw. I feel like you are all forcing me to learn how to draw glasses, which I guess I should thank you for, so thank you. These are squarer glasses. They're actually a lot easier to draw. You can kind of see my guidelines. For hair, I've definitely simplified it down a little bit. Kind of hard to tell from the reference what's going on with the hair. I can only see that like one side, and I can kind of tell that there's like some swooping bangs maybe over the forehead. Now that I've flipped the canvas, I'm going to try and put a little bit more effort into making this character actually look like Gabrielle. So let's see. That includes like the distance of the eyes, maybe in the size, and then like the nose and the lips and everything. It's closer. If you ever think, I can draw eyes pretty well lined up, try and draw glasses over top, you'll realize how much your eyes are messed up. I'm trying to move the glasses to fix it, but I don't think this is gonna cut it. I think I'm gonna have to move one of the eyes. I'm just grabbing the colors straight from the reference image again, which is working pretty well. I think these colors look spot on so far. I had to change the line art to a darker color so that I could add a little bit of shading to the hair. I always like to add a gradient to the hair. I think it just makes it look a little bit more like hair, because again, hair is just so many different colors. You have to incorporate a few or it's gonna look really, really flat. Adding a little bit of shading to the top. And I guess I should add some kind of background, right? It actually doesn't look too difficult. It kind of looks like a perspective grid behind them, if you look. So I'm just gonna draw that. There we go. Just tone it down a little bit. And again, I'm just gonna use the color balance tool and just tweak the colors just so they fit together a little bit nicer. And here we have the finished drawing. Should probably save that one too. You're paying attention. How many of these did I save before I was done? I'm gonna guess not many, maybe one. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, it's loading. There we go. All right, the first one I see like right off the bat is that purple heart emoji. So Mihaela, is that how you say that? Again, I can't say names. I apologize. I also kind of want to do the background in a bit of an abstract way, so I think this will be a lot of fun. I think this is actually number 10, so this is the last one. I'm going to go a little crazy and make this like full on my art style. I'm not going to worry too much about resemblance maybe. Just try to draw a character standing in, is that like a cornfield? It's gorgeous, but I don't know what it is. Because what I don't like about some of the previous drawings that I made is when I do try to make it look like the person too much, and I kind of like lose what's in my style. So I'm going to keep this very simplistic, big swoopy hair, chunky shapes. I love chunky hair. Flip the canvas and work on this again. Give it those big, my style eyeballs. I'm not sure about the mouth. I think when I tone down the line art and the black lines between the teeth, that'll look a little better. But I'm not sure what to do with this side bang. I've always had trouble drawing these. Something is not right with this. What is it? Maybe the head is just too big? This isn't solving any problems. Oh my gosh. Who needs animation, right? I'm sorry. Actually, I could try making the body big. Oh, hey, look. That was the problem. It looks so much better now. For colors, again, I'm just grabbing them from the reference image and plopping them in. Same as with the other 9. The skin tone doesn't really look like the reference image. I think I would grab the highlight, which is where the sun is hitting them. So I'm just going to bring it down a little bit, but make sure it still kind of resembles the skin tone from the reference. I'm just gonna like use my eye and see what I can do. And you can't forget blush. I tried to fix the teeth. I couldn't do it, so I just drew over it. Just adding some like rim lighting behind her to kind of give the idea that the sun is behind them. And I think when I add in the background, I'll make sure it concentrates the brightness in that corner. And I think it'll look pretty cool. We'll see. For the background, I'm just picking colors from the reference image and plopping them in. kind of trying to get the overall shape of the background. Again, I'm not trying to be too detailed with it. I just want to give it the illusion because I'm creating these icons so that they'll be seen small. So I've been using pretty thick line art. So when you shrink it down to the size of an icon, it should still look okay. Sometimes when you shrink images, you lose a lot of detail. So I'm trying to not put too much detail in because you're not going to see it anyway, right? And brighten up that corner. Oh, see how that pops? Ooh. Now that it's all in one layer, I'm going to tweak it a little. I did this earlier in one of the other drawings. I don't remember which one. It's been so long. And I'm just going to shrink a few elements, kind of try and make it look a little bit more like our reference image as best I can, while still like keeping my style. I'm not worried too much. I'm not looking for perfection here. If I was, I would have quit a long time ago. All right, I think this is it. I'm pretty happy with this one. I love the like abstract background. It really like suits the art style of the character and everything. But yeah, that was 10 drawings. I feel pretty accomplished. Drawing 10, that was a lot out of a lot of comments. Sorry I couldn't get to everyone. Obviously, I am only one person, but maybe we can do this again sometime. If you want to use one of the icons I made for your avatar, I will have a link in the description where you can download those if there's one that you really liked. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for allowing me to redraw some of your icons. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys all next week. And I hope you have a delicious evening full of waffles. Bye!